Well, happy Tuesday, guys. Let's see. Yeah, it's Tuesday. What day is this? April 26th. So I'm still I'm still spun from that from the Desert Scale Classic model car show on Saturday. That was a big deal for us. So um, took a day to recover from all that stuff, and then took a day to recover from the recovering. But we're back on the 32. We were really kind of hoping to get this done by Thursday because we're going to leave town on Friday. That's not going to happen. It is what it is. I would rather miss putting this in a show than hurry it and just have it not look very good at all when we're done. So, and just all the work that we're doing on it, that would just break my heart. So, in the meantime, we had done some puttying through here, and let's get our boy out here. There we go. There he is. Did some puttying down through here, and just to kind of smooth that all out there, and we're just kind of sanding and filing that back. And by the way, one of our commenters suggested that we should use jeweler's files. Well, I happen to have jeweler's files, and these are what I always use. It's kind of an eclectic group of guys here because I inherited a couple from my dad's toolbox when he passed away. So some of them have sentimental value and stuff. So I use those, of course. And then when it comes to sanding sticks, let me just see if I can Edward Scissorhands this. I've got them all. Got them all. And then not to mention we got those, but we also have these smaller dudes that we got from our friends over at Rhino Hobbies. These guys are very cool. So I like how they're shaped down to a nice fine point. And these are 600 grit, I believe. So they're pretty robust. And I think I have some 600 and I have some 1000 grit. And then I also have the toothbrush. This one has a 600 grit wheel on it too. This is great for doing panels and stuff like that. So that works good too. And also taking the tartar right off your teeth. Boy howdy. So we use those a lot too. And then for when we just want to scrape some stuff, it's amazing how many things in the dental world carry over to the model car world, which is why I think dentists do so well with model car building. Yeah, those are kind of what we do. Oh, we also have this guy. This turns out to be the only large file I have, and it's actually kind of a small dude too, but this guy's great for squaring up the corners and edges on stuff that you cut. So there's that. But yes, thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. That means that you're invested in what we're doing and trying to help us out as best we can. So perhaps you don't know every tool we have in the arsenal, but again, thank you. So we got everything filed and sanded down, and then put a little bit of filler on, like the fill for the door handles, and that's feeling really good. It looks good, but sometimes it's the feel of something that tells you whether or not you're doing well. Still hoping to get this guy in primer sometime soon, but we want to make sure that this window, and you can see it looks like it's a little high right there. We want to make sure this window frame is the best it can be. So we're working on that. And then let's see here. What else did we have? We discovered something on here. Yes. Okay. So this kit, if you're familiar with it, has itty bitty little lugs here and there on the chassis to mount the fenders. This fender's all one piece on each side. So there's these little lugs there. And I thought I could trust those. I thought I could carry on with those. Well, as it turns out, the best thing to do if you're going to use the fenders on this particular kit, for what I'm seeing with the one that I've got going on here, is to put that interior piece in place. Click, there we go, and then put on the body. Click, and then have the fenders on there too, and then shuttle those backwards and forwards until you get the most perfectest of fits around this area here, because I'm doing a lot of extra work on the body to get this to fit better, when it turns out that one fender seems like it might be a little bit askew from the other fender. So whether or not that's an issue with body warpage or if one of the fenders is warped, I'm not 100% sure, but I went by the lugs that are on here, and we were having some alignment issues with the body, so I had to do some, and I can't get these off. They're cemented on there. They're on. They're on board. So what that's going to mean for us in the future as we complete our build is that we may have an issue with the hoop that goes from one side to the other that holds the headlights. That's going to be that could cause us a hoop of trouble, because the actual piece seems to be shorter than the distances of these guys here. So we're wondering if perhaps they need to seagull wing up a little bit more. That's causing torsion on the frame, which is going to mess up other things too. So something that I neglected to pay attention to when putting together, I just figured, oh, this is a pretty good little Revell kit. Let's just cement everything together. So yeah, we're learning some lessons. And again, the punishment for trying to rush something when you should be taking your time and paying attention to what's going on. I don't like that seam right there. I want to sand that down. But so far, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna once we get this window frame solved and all the way I want it to be, then we're going to do a complete mock-up of the entire thing, minus the parts that we're not going to use, which are like the engine cowl sides, did I say cowl or hood? Engine hood sides. We're not going to use these guys. I don't like that. I like the open look. Especially with what we have planned for the engine. Hopefully that works out. So, and you may see some ProTech stuff back here in the background. And that's because we are fixing to get ready to plan to make a video on making a distributor cap. And that's going to be this guy here. So we're going to work on that in a little bit. But I should show the part dingus. There you go. So there we go. So we're going to carry on and soldier forward and sally forth and all the other things that you do in order to move forward. And then when travel time comes, we will be even more ready for vacation. So we're going to go ahead and sign off now, and we'll check in as things develop. Well, here we are on Wednesday, and we haven't really got much time to mess around with the 32 today because it is filming day for the Model Car Guys on YouTube. So we'll be heading off here to go to Lucas' house and film that here shortly. But we do have enough time to do some quick coats of paint on all of our stuff. We see here we have our exhaust pieces based in the red oxide, Tamiya red oxide. It's a little blurry. There we go. And we'll get that a coat of light gunmetal TS42. That'll look pretty cool. That's something I usually do. This is going to be our interior color. We're going to do an AS15 tan. This is a USAF color, and it is their aircraft color selection from Tamiya. And then we have various other colors in our palette for different things here and there. We're thinking that, you know, the top of this is going to be gloss black, but the bottom of it's probably going to be either where did it get off to? I know it's here someplace. There it is. A German gray for the underside, or just a flat black. Not 100% sure yet. But yeah, various other pieces here all ready to get going. We do not have the body here right now. That is sitting back on the bench. We do want to prime that one more time and do a little bit of sanding on there because we found a couple of little spots that need to be taken care of. But I mean, like when we had like the marks from sand, you know, scratches from sanding and stuff that we need to address. So that's going to show up on the top coat. But in the meantime, we're going to go out into the garage and spray this stuff down and then get on with the coloring. So we have had some paint progress and some paint setbacks. You know, it happens. But we got the rear differential. That's nice and glossy. I kind of like how it's looking. But we'll do rubber black on the airbags, and you can see that the fill work we did on that looks really good. I like how that looks. So it looks less toy-like and more realistic. Also our drive shaft, that's nice and glossy. And we have our steering box, and you know, that steering column, yeah, that's a little bent, but in my defense it was broken. I had to glue it back together, so maybe we can straighten it out when we get it assembled. But we did that in a gunmetal color. Over here we have some interior parts, the steering column, the steering wheel, and we'll go through and do some chrome or silver paint on that guy there to pick it up. But I thought this would look cool with a an aluminum colored steering column, a lot like those aftermarket ones you can get for hot rods and stuff. I thought that looked pretty cool. And then we have our interior. We have our door cards all painted up. We used it was a khaki color. That was the aircraft stuff from Tamiya, the AS series. I think it was AS 15. And I really like how that looks. I could go over that with a dull coat and make it even flatter. I think I will do that on the seat, because this looks like it should be more of a velour. I don't know, leather or velour or something. We'll try a dull coat on this guy here and see if we can't bring that down a little bit more. But the interior is looking really cool. We did base the interior, of course, with primer, and then we went back over it with some German gray, and then over the top of that we did our beige color. And I kind of like that tone. I really like that tone. I think that's going to look pretty sweet. So now on the seat itself, we didn't do the German gray. So that's just primer and then the tan color. Can you see the difference in the color? This has a German gray on it, this doesn't. I like that subtlety of tone that we're getting there. So the door cards and the interior floor have that German gray on there. The seat doesn't. So I wanted to have just a little bit of a tone change between the two different, even though it's the same color, that base color really helps change the tone of the final color that we're using. So also did the trunk the same color as the interior. I figured, you know, if he wouldn't had a carpet put in it, he probably had him do the trunk as well. And then I think I'll paint the inside of the trunk lid the same color. So there we go. Now, our exhaust pipes, those are looking good. Nice and steely looking. And then we have our coilover shocks for the back. Those are painted in aluminum color, and then we're going to go back and paint the coils transparent red. And then once that dries, we'll go back and do Tamiya black panel liner of the whole thing, and hopefully that works out to make it look a little more realistic. Have a radiator and a radiator fan all done up. This guy here is done in some rubber black, and then we'll go back and do the pulley faces in a gloss black. And then our oil filter is done, and so is our oil cap. We went ahead and did that in an aluminum color also. So lots of little bits got painted. Still have to work on our engine a little bit. Did some final checking on this guy here before we wanted to go in and do another round of primer, and we had a little gash in the back here, probably from a file or something. So we went ahead and filled that, sanded it down, filled it up, and now we're waiting for that to cure up so we can file that down also, or sand it down again. And there's a little more work on the front here. Didn't really like how this was blending in, so we went back and did a little more sanding on that to make that blend a little better. And then just some sanding on the sides here and there where we saw a couple of little boogers or something in the primer. So that's that. The deck lid, we had a little booger in the paint there, so we went ahead and sanded that down. So, you know, first coat of primer, these are the types of things you're going to be looking for. And then these frame covers, I want them to be gloss black. And that's telling us that we did not do a very good job of sanding those. I think I went back and forgot to polish those up. So we're going to have to resand those guys and bring them back up to snuff. So there's that. But, you know, like I said, we've got a couple steps forward, one step back here and there, no big deal. And we're going to be taking parts out of the stripper here in a second. I left them in overnight, hoping that they would attack some of the what's that stuff called that's on there, the lacquer, some of that lacquer that's left over on there. Hopefully that softens it up a little bit. We can just brush it off with a toothbrush. But yeah, that's where we're at for right now, and we're gonna probably go work on these guys and get them cleaned up and see if we can't get them into primer also. In the meantime, we're going to wait for that to cure up so we can sand it down and get back onto that there and move forward. And we're still kicking around the idea of which distributor we want to use. I haven't fully made up my mind yet. yeah, so we'll let you know how that goes. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and sign off for now, and we'll talk to you a little bit later when we have more updates to share. Okay, so today is Thursday, and I think it's going to be the last day of the work week for us because we are getting everything's packed and ready to go. Model kits are getting packed away, clothes are getting packed away, and we're getting ready so we can leave town tomorrow morning, head off to the LA Basin area for a little vacation. But in the meantime, here and there when we have a little bit of a break, we've already shown you all this stuff here. This is all been primed and painted, and there's a few things that need to be detail painted, but this is all of the bits that have been stripped. The engine, of course, wasn't chrome. We didn't strip that, but we did wash it, and then we soaked it to get the what is this, the 560 canopy glue? Yeah, this stuff here. We soaked it for a few minutes with these parts in order to break up the white glue that's on there, so we could go ahead and clean this up and get this ready for a primer. And we're just waiting for it to dry out right now. There's a couple little water beads here and there. But yeah, everything else in here was chromed, and then now we're ready to go on to get everything assigned to some sort of alligator or dragon head or popsicle stick for priming. And I think the plan is for our engine is to do a natural metal block. I like that. It's very race car looking. Natural metal block. The plan is to probably do maybe a gold or maybe a oh, what's that color? I really like that color. Titanium gold oil pan. I always like that. Makes me think of those Moroso parts and stuff. The heads will be natural metal also, and then intake manifold is of course will be aluminum or something like that. And then the valve covers, I think we'll paint them either body color or black. I haven't decided yet. Those were chrome. I didn't like them chrome, so now we stripped the chrome and everything. And all of our suspension was chromed also, and we decided to do away with all that. I have to clean up some of the little nubbins here and there from when we clipped it off the trees, but yeah, probably go ahead and just do these up in a nice metallic color also. And it's got this two-piece carburetor in here that it'll do the job. I mean, it's not awesome, but it'll do the job, type of thing. And then our brakes, we're going to paint these up and probably paint up the calipers some kind of nice looking color. So there's going to be that. And let's see what else we got going on. Our front cross member here, our front axle, I should say, it looks like a character's a cartoon character head or something like that. But yeah, we're going to paint this one up, probably gloss black to match the rest of the underside stuff. I didn't like it in chrome. It just looked too toy-like. So we'll probably do the actual axle in a gloss black, and then we'll come back and do like a nice metallic color on the springs, because everybody knows that as soon as you flex a leaf spring for the first time, that paint just comes right off there, unless you powder coat them. Yeah, we had to cut off the little axle nubbin so that the wheels fit on better. And I guess that's about it. I mean, we just have to, oh yeah, we have our shock towers. And I don't remember how these go in. Oh yeah, this is a headlight mount on there, and boy, I wish I had drilled a hole or something like that through the fender so these could poke through, and I could put a headlight on those rather than using the bar that goes between the bar between the fenders. But it looks like our mounting beam for the headlights might be a little bit on the short side for what we got going with our fenders. It's all right. I have a plan for that. I think this is it here. I don't like this in chrome also, so we're going to strip that. But I think the plan for this one will be to just cut it in the center, add a little bit of stock, and put it all back together again. And tickety boo, Bob was your uncle. So that's the plan for that. That's why it's sitting aside. I'm still thinking about that. Oh, speaking of thinking, in order to expedite the build of this car, we're just going to go ahead and go with this distributor, this pre-wired distributor lightsaber thing that we have laying on the desk. the ProTech distributor that we do have idling in the wings will be for some other build. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I'll film that, building that and everything like that as a separate entity. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and go with this guy and just get him kind of done. So there we go. All right, we're going to get on to doing some more priming and painting and pegging things so that we can get some stuff painted, and we'll let you know if there's any more updates for today. Otherwise, we're going to just go ahead and sign off for now, and we'll see you next week. Bye, all.